that is all for right now, leaving off with 142 books. I am currently really excited because I had an author reach out to me on Instagram and she sent me an advanced reader copy of her new book, Before They Bloomed. So I'm about maybe like 100 pages into it, but I'm enjoying it so much so far. So I will have another update about that in the next video, and I will give you the full review after I finish reading it. I am almost done with Before They Bloomed, and I'm actually surprised because I read a ton of this last night, and then I just checked and I have 22 pages left. So by almost done, I mean very much almost done. I thought I still had like a third of this book left, and I'm probably gonna finish it in like 20 minutes. But I have to say I am pleasantly surprised. Like, this book has just truly brought me in and I am so invested. Basically, it follows this girl named Alaska, and her mom has just passed away and you don't really know the full extent of what happened. And so her dad moves her to Chicago to live with her mom's mom, and Alaska starts to uncover a lot about her mom's backstory and like this generational trauma in her family. And she meets this boy named Remy that she is slowly falling in love with, but Remy has these convictions, like these deep-seated convictions that Alaska disagrees with, and they're also like against things that Alaska has done in her life. And without revealing too much, I'm just gonna say I am so invested, but I left off and they were like in a huge fight, and I am so close to being done. So I have no idea how it's all gonna resolve in 22 pages, but let's read and find out. I just finished it like literally not even 8 minutes later. So that's crazy. It was a quick read for those couple pages, and it wasn't fully 22 pages. I am very pleasantly surprised. Honestly, I would probably give it like 3.5 stars. I was super pleasantly surprised. Like, it was good. It was really good, and it caught me by surprise because the last book that I had an author send me was not good, and I feel really bad, but I've been very apprehensive about accepting people's writing. Anyway, I'm very thankful that I read this, and I'm really excited for it to be published because it really like invested me. As soon as I started reading, I was addicted and I wanted to know what happened next. I will say, like, the flashbacks were a little cheesy for me, and it did kind of feel like a lot was happening. Like, there's a lot of little plot points. So that was a little distracting because I was processing all these different things and like trying to keep them straight when you're thinking about the story. So I was a little bit overwhelmed with all of those, and it really feels like she's setting up for a second book based on all these little things that happen and then the way that the first book ends. So I am excited about that. If she has another one, I will definitely read it. But I would recommend you guys 3.5 stars. Also, 144 books have officially been read now, so I have 6 more to go for the year, which is insane. I am halfway through Jenny Allen's book, Find Your People. I think I'm gonna finish that one next, and then I have like a short devotional that maybe I'll read today as well. We'll see. I have actually been very pleasantly surprised by this. It is very entertaining. Like, her first book, Get Out of Your Mind, I liked, but it wasn't remarkable or like memorable for me. So I actually won this book in a like Christmas white elephant gift exchange type of thing, and I was apprehensive about reading it because I didn't fully like her first one, but then when I started reading it, I just got hooked. So now I want to finish it as part of this year, and maybe I'll finish it today. We'll see. It's 5 p.m. so it's officially dark out, but I finished Find Your People. Honestly, 5 stars. I have just been processing after learning all the statistics about loneliness in America and just thinking through like social media and how much everyone just feels disconnected these days. This book, I think, is so prevalent and important, and I think everyone should read it because it talks about the value of building your community and how it takes a village to like just live life and do things together, and how we have become so isolated. And it's just really prevalent for my life right now, and just processing like how to have friendships when like most of my main friends are long distant, and like now being married and having to learn like a new family and all those things. It's hard. Like, it's hard to create a village, it's hard to pursue a village, it's hard to like be part of a community, but that's what we were all made for, and that is what this book is talking about. And it also gives, my bookmark was falling out, but it also gives practical advice and tips, which I think is so important. And Jenny Allen, the author, talks about her own experiences of doing this and attempting this, and even like doing this for years, and just the fruits of what that has led to in her life. And I think that's really important. So 5 stars, and now I have 5 more books to go. Also, look at little M. 5 more books to go. Crazy. Let's see if I can do it. Things are about to get so busy with Christmas coming up, but I'm hopeful and I'm excited. I have finished 2 books since we last spoke. The first one, Every Choice is a Seed by Alicia Britt Chole. And this was a very quick 40-day devotional about choosing different things in your life. And she kind of goes broad about like choosing big things and making big decisions, like getting married, but then also into like the nitty-gritty of every day, like choosing to pursue this thing, choosing to go for a walk. And her writing is just very peaceful, and I've also met her in person before, and she's just a very peaceful soul. Like, you can tell that she's very close with the Lord, and she's learned a lot in her relationship with God. And that just comes through so much in her writing. So I liked this one. It's probably a 4-star. Like, it was just so peaceful and relaxing, a quick read, and I really enjoyed it. And I think at one point I'll probably like reread it and do the actual like journal prompts and everything. But since, you know, I'm trying to get my reading goal, I cannot do that right now. And then I read The 2 Lives of Lydia Bird, which is probably one of the most beautiful books I have ever read. This one though is a 4-star because there were some parts that I was a little bit bored. Like, I do think it could have wrapped up a little bit more than it did, but it is so heartbreaking. Like, it literally sucker punched me. And it's just so tender and raw and heartbreaking because basically at the very beginning of this book, Lydia Bird's fiance passes away in a car accident. And so she's reeling from the death of him and grieving him, mourning, but then she can't sleep. And so her doctor prescribes the sleeping pill. And when she takes it, she wakes up in a reality where Freddie, her fiance, is still alive and they're still together. And it just like rips your heart out. It is so sad, so heartbreaking. The way that the author writes about grief and also like losing the person that you love, it made me so sad. I cried twice while reading this book. And then when she's talking about like the future and all the things that she'll never have with him, I was just a mess. Like, there were 2 parts that really got me. I'm not going to say what they were because of spoilers, but this was such a profound book about realizing that you have to let things go, and in your grief, like, you can't hold on because it really stops the rest of your life. So it was so good, and such a clever way to portray like grief and holding on to the person you love and not wanting to move on, and profound, like truly just so cute. And like, there's little stars all throughout the book, which was super cute. I just loved that design, and I think the cover is so cute. Did not expect to love this one as much as I did, but definitely 4 stars, very close to 5. There were just some parts that I felt like dragged on too long, and like there's a part where she travels to Croatia and I was like, I don't really think that that was necessary. I get it in the grand scheme of things, but I was like a little lost at that part, and then I got back into the story. So that's my only reason for a 4-star. It was very close to 5 stars though, and I did read it in like 2 days, and it's like 364 pages or something, so it was a very quick read. Like, I did not want to stop reading it. And now I have 3 more to go. 147 books, 3 more to go. Friends, I know the anticipation has been killing you. I did not get this video out before 2025, so happy 2025. I am so excited because I made my reading goal. I officially ended the year with 157 books, which is crazy because I didn't even think that I would get 150, and I ended with 7 more than I thought. I will admit I did read a couple of kids' books to my niece, but I still counted them because I was like, I am doing as much as I can right now to get my reading goal. Do what you will with that. But then I still read 2 more, and the 2 that I read were not little kid books, which still got me to my goal without those kid books. So I read Bridgerton, The Duke and I, which I don't have anymore because I borrowed it. And honestly, it was a pretty average read. I would give it like 3 stars, and I did enjoy it, but I don't like Daphne. Like, as a female lead, she is just not a character that I agree with, that I relate to, so she's not my favorite. And then Simon, I did like Simon, but I like that you get more of his backstory. I just think he's kind of a jerk, and like there were definitely some sexist things in the book that go along with the time period, but just gave me the ick. And then of course the TV show follows the book basically plot by plot by plot. So I did know everything that was going to happen since I watched season 1. I was not a fan of the show, so I've always just been intrigued to read Bridgerton to kind of know what the hype is about. I did really enjoy the books a lot more than the show. I liked Daphne and Simon better in the books, but there is a controversial scene that I will not get into the details of that definitely just throws off the whole story and makes it hard to support Daphne. And yeah, so I won't get into that, but it was a 3-star read. It was an average, like, good romance read. And then I decided, I've had this classic collection of poems, which is the full collection of Sarah Teasdale's poems. And my dad actually got this book in a box of like old antique books from an auction, and he gave this one to me. And I was pleasantly surprised to find that Sarah Teasdale's poetry is it just resonates with me in a deep way, and so I really enjoyed this. She uses a lot of metaphor and imagery of like the beach and the city and sunsets and the night sky and the moon and the stars, and that is just really relatable to like my favorite things, and it's kind of what I prefer to read. And she definitely adds like the seasons, and just every kind of imagery that she used spoke to me, resonated with me. So I really enjoyed this. I think I will probably revisit this a lot, and I'm just happy that I finally read it, because I used to just take it like a poem at a time and then set it back on the shelf. And I will say with poetry that it is nicer to like read a poem and then let it sink in and then continue on. But I did just sit and read the collection of her poems, and it does get a little repetitive, but I enjoyed that since it was imagery that I enjoy and that resonates with me. So probably a 4-star read. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoy her poetry. And then yeah, I did it, you guys. 157 books. And now we are in the new year, and honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I was really stressed about getting 150 books last year. And so this year I want reading to be enjoyable again. Like, I don't want to feel stressed about reaching my reading goal. I want to just read and like take my time, and I've decided to start a reading journal, which will be another video. But in making the reading journal, like, I just want to really sit with the books that I'm reading and like highlight things and write down the quotes that I enjoy. So with that being said, my reading goal for 2025 is only 50 books, which I am excited about. I'm hopeful to like surpass my goal, but I'm trying not to make it about the achievements and instead about enjoying the books. And I'm just hopeful to enjoy like a slower pace of reading and to be more creative. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you haven't yet, go follow my Bookstagram, because there will be more updates and you can see like a full reading recap from 2024 and then all of my goals for 2025. And if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm hopeful to just keep doing YouTube. I've been, like you guys kind of know, very conflicted about should I continue this, should I end it, and I've decided to continue it as part of my goals for 2025. So please subscribe, and as always, thank you so much for watching and being here. I can't believe that I read 157 books in 2024. That's crazy. But we did it, guys. It's a new year. Happy New Year. Bye.